Ah, okay. Can you hear me, Arnold? Okay, I can see your mouth moving. But can you,
There you go. How's that?
yeah, good. Now you're signed on as Deborah Muzak. How did you manage to do that?
Well, that's a good question. I see that now. Interesting. Well, you call me Deborah.
Well, okay. Now that's my wife's name, and I had to, in order to test the whole registration process, I had to use her as a test.
Okay.
So for some reason, somehow, oh, that's interesting. I wonder if it was, I wonder if the link that I sent you and sent everybody was this one specifically for her.
I bet it was.
Yeah, I
But
bet it was
no
also.
password, had no ID.
Do you have the original email?
I do.
Yeah, yeah, we have a whole bunch of people that are coming on that. On that. I have a number of people that are now waiting to get in. Let's find out who they are.
So you'll have a lot of Deborahs.
Yeah, I do.
Well, there you are. You got your name is correct.
No, well, that's because I signed on as myself.
Oh, that's right. I think they're all going.
I'm the guy. I'm the guy that you know. I host the meeting, so it knows who I am.
Yeah, I got that. So yeah, I see a lot. Yeah, I see all Deborahs coming on.
Yeah. So we have to see who the other two people are.
Yeah, we'll know here in a minute. Early.
Yeah, well.
Got 10 minutes.
All right, well, one of them is connecting to audio, has connected to audio. And unmute, 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 unmute.
Well, before we start, John, thank you for doing this.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, one of the people is, okay, one of the people does not have a microphone. No, there you go. Hi, the two new people that just came on. I see that you clicked on the link that I sent out today.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but you notice that you're signed on as Deborah Musak.
Yeah, I don't know why that is.
No, the reason for that is, and it's my mistake. So I'm going to have a room full of Debbies today.
Yes, you are.
Today, in order to test out the registration process and make sure it was all working correctly and all that jazz, I signed up. Debbie Musak is my wife,
Oh,
so I signed her up. But then, and in that, in the email from her, it had, here's the link to get on, and I just copied and pasted that link into the email that I had today. The original email that you got saying, yes, you're registered, you know, however long ago that was. Who is this that I'm speaking to, by the way?
this is Shelley Slack.
Oh, hi, Shelley.
Hi. I've missed all the other ones. This is the only one I could catch.
Well, no, I'm glad you did. I'm glad you came here. So anyway, that link that I sent out today was obviously the one for Deborah Musak, and that's why everybody is signed on as Deborah Musak.
Oh.
But I don't mind if you don't mind. You can be anonymous today.
Okay. Oops.
There you go.
Where'd you go?
I see you.
I don't see you.
Okay. Well, that's probably just as well because you're much prettier than I am.
I don't know.
But I want to know who the other one is that it does not have a does not have a camera.
Huh.
Can you? Says you have a microphone there, and I don't know who that person is. Let me see. Let me go and try. Oh, I got chats. You don't have a camera. Oh, this is Kevin. Okay. Hi, Kevin. All right. Very good. No, you don't have to exit. Well, he did. He just went. Boom.
Yeah. I'm
Oh,
trying.
right,
I've got
Debbie,
three of them. I've got three of them open. I'm trying to delete some of this. But
Oh, okay.
maybe I can't. I don't know. Because there isn't a button that says exit or delete or any of that.
Well, if you
Oh,
go,
there you are. I'm in the dark. Let me turn my light on.
okay.
John, why don't we just have Debbie 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5?
Well, that looks like what we're going to be doing.
I don't know. Anyway.
There you go. Now Shelley has light on, but that's good. All right. Well, all right. Well, we have 10 minutes before we start. So, okay, who's up for a song and a dance?
Not me.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Arnold, it looks like you're it.
So, did you watch the party last night, the Trump rally?
Oh,
No.
I didn't.
No,
Was
no,
it
I didn't.
good?
Yeah, the man just still amazes me. He's got so much energy. Fascinating.
Yes.
He was up there for about an hour and a half.
Uh-huh.
It's just really fascinating how much strength he has, how much.
Yeah, and today, though, I have seen Chris Wallace and all that are just talking about the fact that he didn't fill the auditorium. Duh.
Well, there was a problem with that. There was a reason for that. Apparently, a lot of people reserved tickets and never showed up.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not one way or the other about it.
It was a 19,000 seat gallery too. So that was a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that But I mean, it's not surprising that the media would pick out, oh, he didn't
Sure.
kill the rally. I mean, it's
Exactly.
like, however, he does make a big deal about I can fill a rally, and so when he doesn't,
Well, you probably could have, but I think they canceled the outside venue because of all the problems with it.
yeah, I know, yeah. All right, we have someone. Oh, we have a number of people who signed on as Deborah Musak, and Kevin is on as Kevin. Although I imagine he's still not able to communicate. That's okay.
Fine. It sounds like
And, and then, is that Howard that's
Yes.
on also? Yes. Good,
Yes.
okay. All right. You used the link in the email I sent out today, didn't you?
Yes, that's,
Yes.
yes.
That was that was a test that I was sending out with I was testing the registration procedure and all with my wife's name. And then I just took the link that was sent to me, and put it in that email, which it certainly looks like it was specifically for her. So so you're signed on as Deborah Musak because you used the link that was for her.
Yes, how about that?
Yes. We also
see
have Arnold, who is a local boy who is also named Deborah Musak today. And we also have Shelley Slack, who is a local lady who came to one of our last meetings that we had in the library before we all died and went into house arrest.
Limbo.
And yes, indeed. And we have Marty Marshall.
Hi.
Florida,
Hey, Marty.
connecting on. Okay, connecting on. All right, Marty. Good to see you.
Good. I see you.
Good. All right, so Arnold, do you have the original email that you got when you registered before?
Oh, that's way back there. I probably have it in my archive somewhere, but I doubt if I can find it.
Okay. Because, well, this is the 21st. We're going to do one more in June.
Yeah, 28th.
Yeah, we're going to do one more in June, the 28th. And then for July, I'm thinking is this a really good time, or is there, would there be a better time? I've had some people ask me to do it during the week instead of on the weekend. We got a big no there.
Well, it depends on what time.
Yeah, well, it would probably be like maybe like 4 or 5 o'clock my time. It'd be like 8 o'clock your time.
7 my time. Okay.
7,
Might
8
work.
o'clock your time.
7.
Yeah. Arnold, what do you think about that during the
I'll go
week?
either way. My schedule changes all the time anyway.
That's right, because you're retired.
Right.
Everything revolves around your golf. I understand. Shelley, what do you think?
Well, my Sundays are usually free, but this last month I've had unexpected company and stuff like that, so I haven't been able to make any of them. So I guess we could try during the week. Maybe that would be better. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
Howard would be for during the week because I may be going back to work.
Woo!
Woo!
Oh yeah.
How bizarre.
So you would not favor during the week?
I would favor during the week.
You
Howard.
would favor during the week.
Yeah, I
Okay.
work Friday, Saturday, Sunday evenings.
Oh, I see. Okay. And Kevin just wrote to me and he said that he watches Tucker from 5 to 6 Pacific, so he doesn't want to do it during the week.
Tell them to tape it.
Oh, well, we could do that. Although I don't know, Kevin doesn't have a microphone on his computer, so I'm not sure. See, I can
If
say
you had
things
it from 4 to 5, then Tucker comes on at 5, so that would solve that problem.
Yep.
Yeah, and that 4 o'clock makes it 7 for Marty.
That's
Oh,
fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Well, Kevin shows
Tuesdays.
muted. I'm showing a muted sign on Kevin.
Yeah, he says he's muted, but even if I unmute him, he's still muted. Okay, well now he's
Now he's unmuted.
unmuted, but he's got no. Let's see. He has to text me or he has to chat me. He says he doesn't have cable, and then he says, "I'm kidding. I can do whatever you want is fine." I tell you, if you pick me over Tucker, I am flattered.
Woohoo!
Yeah, maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll do it 6 o'clock. Maybe we'll do it 6 o'clock. Kevin liked that. Maybe you do it 6 o'clock, which is 9 o'clock your time, Marty.
Depends on what day.
Wednesday.
Depends on what's going on. At this point, I think it's okay.
Okay.
That should be good for Howard.
Okay, good. Arnold, you going to be able to stay up that late?
This Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, or the
No,
following?
no, it won't be this Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure, yeah.
Okay,
I
good.
may doze off a few times, but I'll be okay.
Yeah, but this is going to be like 6 o'clock. You'll be off the golf course by then.
Yeah, I'll be off by then.
You're right.
That's when Glenn Beck comes on, but that's okay.
Okay.
Let's record it.
And
I do.
Shelley, and Shelley, nobody's been paying attention to you. So
that's fine. I'm just listening. Yeah, either one, 5 or 6 would probably be fine.
okay, all right. Then okay, I'm going to note it down. 6 o'clock Wednesday. That'll be. We'll start doing that in July.
Yeah.
But for the rest of June, it's this Sunday and it's next Sunday, and then after that it will be. Well, I don't know if it'll be the first Wednesday or we'll wait for the second one. Anyway, we'll see.
Well, I will not be there the next Wednesday, next Sunday, but
You won't be here next Sunday? It's all right.
it's okay.
You just have to find a replacement. Make sure that they're here for you.
I'll just do double work the next time.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. Right. Just listen twice as hard.
Right. I'll watch it twice.
All right. Good. All right. And we have another Deborah Musak waiting to come in.
Wow, 3 of them.
Yeah. It's because they all. Hey, Sean.
Hey, John.
You used the link that I sent out today, didn't you?
Sorry, say it again.
You used the link that I sent out today.
I did.
Yes, because that was Deborah Musak's link.
So we
Oh,
have,
And that's
we
why
have
if
4
you look at your
Deborahs
name,
now.
You'll see your name is Deborah Musak there.
okay. Okay.
However, I know who you guys are. You know who I am. You know who each other is. We have, well, let's go ahead and call off our names. And to me, Arnold, you're the first to just say who you are and where you're from or whatever like that. Something real simple.
Hi, I'm Arnie from Grants Pass, Oregon.
All right. And then next is Shelley.
Shelley Slatt from Grants Pass, Oregon.
All right. And Marty.
Marty Marshall, Clearwater, Florida.
And Deborah, Sean.
Deborah, Sean. Sean Denning from Los Angeles.
Very good. And Kevin Richmond does not have a microphone, but so he is from Grants Pass area. And then we have the next one is Howard.
Howard, Los Angeles, California.
Very good. And I had 2 new Deborah Musaks join up because they used the. One of them is, I recognize you and I forgot your name. I am sorry. Yes, that's correct.
Gene from Ashland, Oregon.
And what was your first name? I'm sorry.
Gene,
Gene. That's right. Gene. Okay.
Ashland, Oregon.
All right. And the last one is still muted. I'm going to attempt to unmute. Hi. That we have a new person that hasn't spoken yet, and is apparently not wanting to speak. It's under the name Deborah Musak, but that's from. All right. All right. Very good. Here we are, a little after 4 o'clock, so we're going to start our Constitution Study Group. We will we'll start with a review, and the review starts off with, basically I start with what is a republic, because that's what the Constitution defines. It defines a republic. So a republic has particular pieces to it, or has to have particular, I mean, it's like when you talk about a deer, it's because you have legs and you have a body and you have, 4 stomachs and stuff like that. There's things that go into making up a deer. So what goes into making up a republic? Anyone want to take a stab at that?
Well, I could read.
Okay, go ahead.
The republics ruled by popularly elected representatives subject to constitutional limitations.
All right.
Is that in our book somewhere?
That's certainly a piece of it. That's in the book.
I memorized that from John's last class.
Okay. All right. So, who is, all right. I just got a chat here from someone, one of the Deborah Musaks, who says Howard is the other Deborah Musak. But then this Deborah Musak that the Howard is the other Deborah Musak. Who's the
the real Deborah Musak. Yeah, no.
Why do I feel like Mrs. McCabe might show up at any moment?
Yes. Well, yes. But you changed your name, Sean.
Yes, there's a quick fix for all you other Deborah Musak clones if you want.
Where is that?
If you go to the participants, the buttons at the bottom,
Yeah.
participants 9, click it to open up the list.
Yeah.
Once the list is open, find the Deborah Musak that says me in parenthesis and hover over it, and it'll say more, and click that, and it'll say rename.
Oh. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do that right now with Howard. I'm going to do that with Howard. So that's Howard.
Thank you.
Sure.
Howard is now Howard. Shelley is now Shelley. Thank you, Shelley.
Woo!
And we have one Deborah Musak left. And I know that that's not really Deborah Musak, because Deborah Musak is my wife and she's upstairs.
So to get out of that, do you just X out, Sean?
There we go.
If you want to get rid of the list again, go to the very top, and there's a down arrow on the left, and it'll say close if you select it.
Oh.
And I recognize that other Deborah Musak. That other Deborah Musak is. That other Deborah Musak. Okay. Jeannie, you're going to change yours? Because the other Deborah Musak is Anita Covey. Can you hear me, Anita?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, good.
Can you hear me? Obviously.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
we
I
did.
never did this before, so I didn't know what I was doing.
Oh, well, you did it well.
I switched the viewer thing from John's computer to mine.
All right. Looking good. Looking good. All right. So we're doing a review of what is a republic. Arnie said what a republic was. Had a definition out of the book. Anybody want to add anything to it? Jean, thank you for changing your name.
Could
Marty?
you recap that for me, John?
What's that?
Definition of a republic. Could you recap that for me?
That's what we're doing right now.
Thank you.
Okay. So Marty, go ahead.
So a republic a republic takes the three natural forms of government and combines them and becomes a republic, which is the people's. So you have the monarchy, the aristocrat, and then democracy. Each of those sections become part of the republic.
Right, becomes each of them become a branch of the republic. Exactly right. Okay. Anything else anyone want to add to that? All right. Well, the difficult part about government is
Oh, I just unmuted myself. Howard.
yes,
Res Publica.
Howard. How
Res-
are you?
I'm well, I
Okay.
think. Not dead yet.
Did you have something you wanted to say about republic?
I like the derivation of republic. Res publica, things public. And what else do I like about republics? Oh, they are ruled by law. Ideally, ruled by law. And I don't know. I trembled, Marty, when you said people and republic. Dun dun dun. People's
don't know what I said.
Republic of. You did. You said republic and people's in the same sentence. People's Republic of. Dun dun dun. Fake
Korea.
republics.
Oh,
Right.
North Korea, China.
Well, a republic does, as Marty said, take the three natural forms of government, which were first described by Aristotle. You can have a rule by a single person, which is a monarchy. You can have a rule by the minority, which is an aristocracy, or you can have a rule by the majority, which is a democracy. And each of those in its own way is the perfect form of government for a society that can sustain it. However, it can go very bad, very wrong, very quickly. And the secret is to somehow enable it to have longevity, so that it won't go bad. And left to its own devices, each of them will go bad. So what Aristotle described was a form of government, because he had seen it there. It wasn't very frequent in ancient Greece, but it was a form of government in which there was there was one branch of the government was ruled by one person, another branch of the government was ruled by the minority, and another branch of the government was ruled by the majority, and they all had to work together in order to make and enforce laws, which is what governments do. Anytime that any one of those natural groups, like the king, started to get out of line, the other two branches would bring him back into line, and that was what it was designed to do. That form of government, that what he called a constitutional polity, and the reason it's a constitutional polity is because instead of just being, okay, here's this form of government, they have to construct it. They have to put it together. They have to say, we're going to have a little bit of a monarch that's here, but then that fits in with this other part that's here, and then they all fit together with this other thing that comes down here, and they all fit together. And they would have some kind of a constitution, a description of what constituted the government. So that was called what he called a constitutional polity. When it got down to the Romans, a few hundred years later, the Romans needed that kind of government because their monarchy was falling apart. And they said, you know, that fellow had a real good idea. And what we would do is, since the monarchy was a thing of the tribes, it was the tribes had gotten together. Instead of destroying each other, they had elected instead. Each of the tribes had gotten together, and they elected a king. And they said, instead of having it be a thing of the tribes, what we're going to do is have it be a thing of the people, this new government that we're going to do. And we're going to have a little bit of a king kind of activity, and we're going to have a little bit of aristocracy kind of an activity, and a part of it is going to be ruled by the majority, part of it's going to be ruled by the minority, and so on. And we're going to call this our thing. Instead of being a thing of the tribes, it's going to be our thing, the people's thing, and they call that then res publica, the thing, res, of the people, publica, which we call today republic, which is what Howard had talked about.
John, question. This is Howard.
Yeah.
Was there a specific city in Greece that had three forms of, if I didn't misunderstand what you were saying?
Athens was the one that comes to mind because it was the one that tried to do it that way, and they recognized they had to have a powerful king, like when they went to war and stuff like that. But they also had the assembly. I forget what it was called, but it was the group of people getting together, which was the democracy, which is the democratic part of it, which was what was so unique. You didn't just have a king running everything. He was could be overruled by the assembly of people. And also, of course, you had the rich people in the back that they could overrule anything because they were the rich people. So,
well, Socrates was condemned to death by the
mob.
By the mob in Athens.
Yeah, that was Athens. Exactly right. Hey, I didn't say it was a perfect form of government.
Well,
I said it was a form of
but
government.
I'm just pointing out that the most historically flagrant, if I can talk, misuse of assembly power of Athens. That's all.
Okay.
That was not a good thing.
Fair enough. Okay. So, and all we're doing here is at this point, we're just describing what is a republic. A republic is these three different forms of government which are combined together in such a way, and the aim of it is to make it so that no single part of it can go bad, take control over everything, and have total rule over it all and become totalitarian. That's the aim of a republic. So when the founders sat down, those boys in wigs and stuff, and they said, okay, we're going to form a government. What kind of a government will we form? And they kind of scratched their heads and said, well, we don't want a king, and we don't want this, and we don't want that, and so on and so forth. And they looked through all of the stuff they knew, and they came up with, they said, we should do a republic kind of thing. So when they wrote the Constitution, well, originally, of course, as Howard knows, they had the Articles of Confederation. The Articles of Confederation was a thing of the states. It was a thing of the states because it was an agreement amongst the states that this is how we're going to work together as states.
Yes.
And so it was a thing of the states. So when they wrote the Constitution, you'll notice at the beginning of it, it says we the people. So it is no longer a thing of the states, it's a thing of the people. And that, going back to the most basic definition of republic, that's what it is a thing of the people. But you see in there that it has three branches of government. There's the monarchical form, which is the president. Over his area, over the State Department and the Treasury and the Army and all the rest of that, he's the boss. He's the monarch. You're supposed to do what he says. Now, lately we've seen that sometimes it doesn't always work that way, but he's supposed to be the boss. He's the monarch of his section. So that is the monarchical branch of it. The Congress is ruled entirely by majority rule. So it is the majority that's ruling that one. So that's the democratic part of it. And then the judiciary is ruled by the minority who know better than others how things are supposed to work. You got to have a special degree to be a lawyer. You have to have a special appointment to be a judge. You have to have it's the special minority that handles that runs that one. Now, it does have there are checks and balances even within that, because you do have a jury, And if the jury says the guy's innocent, the guy's innocent, and they can't, that minority can't then overrule that, unless you're Michael Flynn. No, never mind. I didn't say that.
We didn't hear it either, but
good,
anyway,
okay.
it was on our minds.
Yeah.
Um,
So no,
all three branches are supposed to follow the Constitution.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Well, yeah, no, absolutely, they're supposed to, and the Constitution has built into it checks and balances where they, this one can't do, the president can't have an army unless he has money to do it, but the Congress is the one that has to say, this is the money to do that, so he has to depend upon the Congress to do that, but then if they want to get something done, they have to rely on the president to get it done. So, because he executes the laws, the Congress doesn't execute the laws. So it goes back and forth, and they have all checks and balances. And the attempt is to make them all so that they don't, not one of them can take over and become total control over it all, and therefore become a totalitarian state and become the evil twin brother of the natural form of government. And when Franklin said, we have a republic if you can keep it, what he meant was it's the people that are the ones. Someone just mentioned that the Constitution doesn't have within it a mechanism for it to maintain itself. The only mechanism that's really in it to maintain itself is the courts, and the courts can run rampant if they want. They may be the watchdogs, but who's watching the watchdogs? Well, the only one that's watching the watchdogs is the people that set the thing up to begin with, which is us. And we're the ones that have to keep control over it. We're the ones that have to watch it. We're the ones that have to make it, we're the ones that enforce it. That's, the complaint I've had from some people is that, well, it's an unenforceable document, so it's not worth anything. Well, it's not worth anything if the people don't do it. So, anyway, that's there. So I think that anybody have anything else to add on Republic? Gene, you're always good with adding something.
Not right now.
Not right now. Okay, fair enough. All right, we'll have cross-examination a little later then.
Howard?
Proceed.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir. Yes, Howard.
The way that the people can enforce the Constitution is to, this is speculation, okay? I'm just putting this as an idea. I'm not saying this is the case.
Okay.
They can nullify usurpations of the Constitution by not following an unjust law.
That's correct. Refuse to comply.
Excellent.
That certainly is one way. That certainly is one way to do it.
Juries can nullify, like the OJ jury. They nullified the law.
Right.
Okay.
Right. All right. So then after, now that we know that what we're setting up is a Republican form of government, we're going to go take a look at the Constitution itself, and I'm going to share my screen with this right here. All right. Can everybody see the title page?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, John.
And something that I don't mention, but it really is. Was somebody saying something I didn't notice you? No? You okay? All right. Is this saying down here? Lord Acton was in the 1800s English philosopher, historian guy. Liberty is not a means to the highest political end, is itself the highest political end. And that is what a republic is supposed to gain for people, is liberty. That's the end product of a republic. And I'm going to make this just a little bit bigger.
Thank you.
Okay, because we're going to go down to See, we're reading this book really fast, really fast.
Wow, look at how smart we are.
Hope you're catching all this. Arnold, you got it all? You ready for the test now, Arnold? So
Well, I'm
they
never ready
wrote,
for a test. I'll give it a try.
okay. After they put together the Constitution, they said, well, we needed to do this and we needed to do that, and we have to have these three branches, and we have this and we have that, and so on and so forth. And they had this document all there. They went back and they said, you know, rather than just sort of bursting this on the world, we need to tell people why we're doing this, what it's about, and who it is that's doing it, and so on. And so they stuck a preamble in the front of it. And it starts off with "We the people of the United States," which is a telltale sign that it is a thing of the people, it is a republic. And particularly, particularly that's important because the Articles of Confederation is an agreement amongst the states. They had New Hampshire and Massachusetts and all those, and the states all signed into it. And so they said, we're going to go beyond that. This is no longer a thing of the states. This is a thing of the people. And we're having a republic. And what gives it away that this is not just a contract between the states, which is what the original Articles of Confederation was a contract between the states. This is a particular type of legal document called a charter, because in a charter, what you do is a sovereign, like King John of England back in 1215, with the Magna Carta, the Great Charter. King John granted certain powers and rights to people. And the two things that you have to have when you do a charter is you have to have who it is that's doing the granting, and then what it is that they're granting. And this right here tells us who it is that's doing the granting is this right here. That's who it is that's doing the granting. And what it is that they are granting is this right here. They're ordaining and establishing the Constitution of the United States of America. So this is what this is the telltale sign that this is a charter and not just a contract. This is a very special piece of paper. We got that, or does anybody have any comment on that?
What makes it a charter?
I'm sorry?
What makes it a charter?
A charter is, you have to have two things: a sovereign, like King John, Queen Elizabeth, or we the people, a sovereign, somebody who is not ruled by someone else.
I see.
And then
Down there at the top.
and then what
What
they
is-
are
You said
what they are granting.
what I was doing. I just switched the microphone. I mean,
It's like, hi Anita. I saw John just come in the room there.
yeah.
Okay. All right, so
So a charter, it's like we the people are a sovereign, right?
we are the sovereign.
Right.
Nobody rules us. We're the sovereign. You know, we come from God or whatever. A person might think about that, but we are not ruled by someone else.
Mhm.
And so we, of our own free will, have decided that we want to rule ourselves. And in order to do that, we're going to ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.
Question.
Yes,
What's the difference between a charter and a compact?
a compact is an agreement. That's a different word for it. That's a different word for an agreement amongst people. A compact, give me an example of a compact that you're thinking of in particular.
Well, I was thinking that this was a compact.
A
Constitution.
compact has to be amongst people that they're going to do certain things. And this doesn't say that the people are going to do anything in particular at all.
Okay.
What this entire document does is describes how the national government, this government of the United States, how it's going to work. Does that make sense?
Yes, I just have to clear up those two different terms.
Well, we can go look up compact. You want to do that on the side while we're doing this? Just look up the word compact and see what you come up with.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Excuse me.
Yeah. I can't see the pictures of everybody, so I don't know who it is that's speaking.
I think that was Gene sneezing, John.
Dean? Okay.
Excuse me.
Did you have something to say?
No, sir.
Oh, okay.
Was a sneeze. God bless you.
Oh, okay.
Gesundheit.
Okay, okay, good. Fair enough. All right.
So this is
I mean, I
somewhat,
took a compact pretty much to be like what a contract is. That it's the basics of a contract are that you have two sovereigns, two people who are not ruled by anybody else, who are equal in stature, and they are going to do something to the benefit of the other. Like, I have shoes and you have eggs. You want some, you want some, whichever way I said it was. Anyway, you want some shoes, I want some eggs. And so we have a contract that I'm going to give you some shoes and you're going to give me some eggs, or whichever way that went.
Okay, Merriam-Webster says the definition of compact, entry 404, an agreement or covenant between two or more parties. It's about as close as it comes with compact.
Okay. Okay, so it's, yeah, so it's perhaps it's a more formal contract or something
Yeah.
like that.
well, the Mayflower Compact.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's some kind of a thing of I'm going to do this for you and you're going to do this for me. And that's not in this document. That's not what the Constitution is. It doesn't say I'm going to do this for you and you're going to do this for me. What it says is we, the people, as sovereigns, we are setting up a mechanism, and this mechanism is going to work this way. And this is and we're going to have these different pieces to this mechanism, and this is how they're going to fit together. This is how the watch works. It's like when you make a watch, you don't have a contract between you and the watch. It's like you make a watch and the watch tells time, and that's what it's supposed to do. And if it doesn't, you take the thing apart and you fix it.
Okay, so here's the definition of contract. A
Yeah.
contract is a legally binding agreement that recognizes and governs the rights and duties of the parties to the agreement. A contract is legally enforceable because it meets the requirements and approval of the law. An agreement typically involves the exchange of goods, services, money, or promises of any of those. In the event of a breach of contract, the law awards it, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yeah.
John, I dropped into the chat. It only went to you because I couldn't make it to everyone, but I dropped a definition from the legal dictionary from the free dictionary.
And I have never figured out how to be, while I'm sharing my screen, how to see the chat. So.
Oh, well, okay. It says.
I am sorry about that. It's just I have never figured it out. How to
That's all right. This is on compact, an agreement, treaty, or contract. Term compact is most often applied to agreements among states or between nations on matters in which they have a common concern.
Okay.
And then it has an additional note. The Constitution contains the compact clause, which prohibits one state from entering into a compact with another state without the consent of Congress.
Right. Right. Exactly right. But that again is how yes, exactly right. But what this, okay. But
Yeah, I see the difference. This is obviously simply something that was created from we the people.
Right. We all good with this?
Okay.
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Howard, you have, yeah, Howard and I had a discussion during the week offline on this, just checking on Howard on this.
I'm pretty good with it. If I am a sovereign, if I, Howard, am a sovereign, I would presume to rule myself.
Yes,
Autocracy.
yes, that's
Right.
right.
Okay. And yet I have consented to be ruled by the laws of the government. Seemingly so.
Now we're getting into something entirely different. We're getting into the difference between we the people as a sovereign of the people and we as individuals. That's a little bit different, and
Okay.
we're not. I'm not.
I don't want to go too far astray. I'm just.
Yeah, no, we're not.
it's
We're
on my
not ready
mind.
to do that right now.
Okay. All right.
However, it is in my book, Your Rights, what they are and how to keep them, and you can buy it on Amazon. There you go. Shameless plug.
I'm wondering if I have that one. What is it called, John, again?
Your Rights, what they are
Okay.
and how to keep them.
I have it. Good.
Okay,
All
good.
right.
All right.
Thank
All
you.
right. So this was the first piece of the Constitution, and we're going through the Constitution word by word, section by section. So, Shelley, is it okay if we move on to the next?
Yes.
All right. Here we go. Article 1, Section 1 sets up 3 branches of government. The Article 1 has to do with the legislative branch. That's the branch that makes laws. And let's just do the key words on this. I think that might be a good idea. Arnold, you want to read me the first key word there?
Congress,
Yep. And then the definition there?
oh, I'm sorry, comes from the con together and dress to move together, a meeting of people who move together.
All right, that's the definition of Congress. Next one is grant. Shelley, you want to do grant?
Or a grant, to give something to someone.
Good. And that's what this Constitution does, is it grants something. Sean, are you on? You want to do the legislative?
Sure. I'm just eating my lunch, so I shut my camera off.
Oh,
Legislative,
that's too bad. We wanted to watch you. But okay.
if you like. Legislative, having to do with making laws.
Good. All right. Gene, here's a really
The difficult one.
a difficult one for you. Yes, sir.
Herein, in this document, quote unquote, or in here, used mostly in legal documents.
Right. Very good. Okay. And for Anita, we have vested.
Placed in the possession or control of a person or persons. If power is vested in you, you have been placed in possession of that power. You control that power. Vested means to be placed in control or possession of something. Also, it can mean to dress in church garments.
So that's a little second definition. Right. Okay. So let's see what. All right. And down here, this is Article 1. This is entirety of Article 1, Section 1. Marty, you want to do that?
Sure. Section 1, all legislative powers herein granted shall be vested in a Congress of the United States, which shall consist of a Senate and a House of Representatives.
Good. So the questions that we do on this is, I just had a couple of questions for people that are studying the book. Howard, the first question is, what group makes all the laws for the United States?
Well, theoretically, it is the Congress, the House,
Good.
and the Senate.
Good. That's,
And I say theoretically because federal
oh,
bureaucrats.
we know, Howard, we know why you said theoretically.
All right. Good. Okay.
And the 2 houses of Congress are the Senate and the House of Representatives. Now, I also have a little note on the side. I just lost who everybody is. Hang on.
To execute enforce laws.
Yep.
Government agents make regulations. Any regulations they make must be based on a law passed by Congress. Is that your note, John?
Right? And if you look at, there is the CFR, which is the, Gene probably knows this better than I do.
Council on Foreign Relations.
Relations.
No, that wasn't the one I was thinking of.
Different CFR.
Gene, what is that? It's all the government regulations.
Yeah, they're annotated in detail by date, all regulations and anything that the Congress stipulates.
Right, but then it has all the regulations also that are put, it's a big book. It's called the it's the something or other of federal regulations.
Federal
Code.
Registry?
It's code.
Yeah, it's just as volumes and volumes of
Right,
regulations.
of all the federal regulations.
Yeah.
But each one of those regulations has to tie back to some statute that Congress has passed. So sometimes if you are, I mean, I've done this exactly once and don't want to do it again, but I was being asked by a government agency to pay a penalty because of something. And I wrote to him and I said, that regulation that you are quoting there is actually has to do with a different law in a different title of the U.S. Code. It's not this one. And so they wrote back to me and they said, well, okay, we'll forgive you on it. We won't fight you. So,
Oh, I am so proud of you, Mr. Chambers. That is awesome.
so,
Wow.
Good you.
well, yeah, but you see, they didn't say I was right.
That's right.
They didn't. They just said, we're not going to fight you. That's all they
John,
said.
you won. They lost. Bravo.
Well, thank you. And it was 40 years ago and I'm not going to do it again. Thank you. All right. So let's see. Shelley, I haven't heard from you. I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm going to.
Thank you. So what did you want me to do?
Any thoughts you have on this? What we just talked about, Article 1, Section 1.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so let me just ask you, what of all the laws that the United States runs on, who makes all those laws?
Congress or the legislative branch? I'm not sure what you want to know.
Both are correct.
Oh, okay.
That is correct. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't catch you napping there.
Oh, okay. I am in kind of dark.
Okay. Yeah, Sean.
Dark. All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Yeah, Sean.
being a newbie to this digestion level, this point about regulations being subordinate to laws and
Yeah.
tied to laws, that's a new concept for me and I'm kind of chewing on it.
Okay.
But it certainly makes sense. I didn't get the abbreviation that you said on what is this giant.
Well, it's
Code of Federal Regulations.
It's the Code of Federal Elections.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sean.
Like the Uniform Commercial Code,
Thank you,
for
Gene.
example.
No, well, I think that may be part of it.
Yes.
Gene, you probably know better than I.
That's true, it is.
It is, okay. Yeah, the Code of Federal Regulations, CFR, is all of the regulations that all of the agencies, the IRS, the Bureau of Land Management, the USDA, the FDA, the C.
And they
the
stem
FCC,
out of something that came out of the legislature.
and all of their regulations that they make have to be based on some law that was passed by Congress.
Okay. Okay.
It's an interpretation
has
of
to be
administrative
constitutional.
laws.
It's okay. We had a couple different people speaking. Marty, I heard you.
Yeah, it has to be constitutional. The law has to be constitutional.
Well, the law has to
So,
be constitutional.
so just because you have a law and you have regulations, and if it's not constitutional, it's not constitutional.
Right,
It's not a valid law.
in order to determine that, generally you go to court.
Yeah.
But ultimately, if enough people say, I ain't doing it, and it doesn't get done, and you can't stop them, then it's just not done. So,
Okay.
and then somebody else was speaking as well.
And I wanted to just add that the code is basically administrative law depicted by the agencies that are responsible for the administration of those regulations.
Right, exactly right, exactly right.
So
Because,
for example, sorry.
yeah, no, go ahead. For example,
Then you could take some aspect of a regulation of an agency for like let's say the FDA, and you could go into what they have issued as their own agency policy, and you could challenge it against specific legislation, and stepping further down to base to fundamental, challenge it against the Constitution.
right,
Okay.
right, right. Although I believe in the CFR, in the Code of Federal Regulations, Gene, you can correct me on this because Gene knows more about this than I do, but usually in the regulations, they cite what piece of law they are enacting with this. So that they say, okay, here's this regulation, but that's based on this statute that was passed. So they tie it right back there. So you usually don't
So
have
there's
much.
generally a contained reference.
Yes, right. It is a contained
Okay.
reference. Absolutely. And
Everything's under the general welfare.
well, well, now this has to do with because all of these regulations come from the executive branch implementing the laws. The other piece of that is that, and what Marty just alluded to, was that they do have a rule, for instance, in the House of Representatives, that when you submit a bill to be a law, you are supposed to cite in it what section of the Constitution you are relying on that this is forwarding, that this bill is forwarding. So it's right there in there what it is. However, there are, I was looking up some law. I forget what it was because I was really curious to find out what makes them think that this is constitutional, and it had right there cited. This is Article 1, Section 8. Is what it's for. Now it's Article 1, Section 8. When we get to that, you'll see that it is so huge that it can be almost any piece of it, and it's as though they really didn't make a reference at all, is what they did. So so they are allowing themselves to be too vague in that way. So we need to hold their feet to the fire. I mean, that's our job. So
Yeah, that's making sense.
okay, good.
There are also many state laws that each state has, altogether different from federal laws. But yes, Congress makes the federal laws.
Yes, Congress makes these. Yes, these are the laws of the United States. These are not the laws of California. These are not the laws of Florida or Oregon or any other state. These are the laws of this body which the Constitution creates, called the government of the United States. These are the laws of the United States.
Exactly.
All right, so now this is Article 1, Section 1. Any questions on this?
No, but that might be a fun game to grab some random laws and try to trace them back.
Yep. Yes, that's right. Fine. Yes, in fact, that can be your homework, Sean, if you'd like. Is you can go find a law that you think is particularly egregious, particularly bad, and you can go see if you can, what part
Figure out the connection.
Yeah, what part of the Constitution are they trying to do this? I mean, what makes them think they can do that?
Okay.
That would be an interesting thing. All right, we'll expect a report from you next week.
Right.
Sean, the libraries are closed. You're saying.
And Arnold, that is a sure way to make sure somebody doesn't come back next week.
Sean, you're safe. The libraries are closed.
Well, actually, Sean, you're perfectly welcome to do that or not do that. We'll love to see you next week anyway. Okay?
Well, I have an example to start with right off the top of my head.
Oh, just curious. What do you think?
Well, well, let's see. I need to work this through actually, because it's California. No, it's the CDC. So I have a client who lives in an assisted living facility. I'm unable to provide service
Okay.
because of the COVID-19 lockdown.
But now we have to determine whether that's state or federal. It's probably the state that's doing that.
Well, I already researched the state regulations from the California Department of Public Health.
Yeah.
And according to theirs, without getting into any drill down detail, Section 1 and Section 10, they actually grant me access to the assisted living facility to continue delivering to my client. So when I made that argument, now the facility has popped up with CDC. So now I have to go and that's the next step. Take what CDC is saying and see if I can trace that back.
Okay. All right. Good enough. Good enough. All right. So you already have a real live example of this. That's good.
A question, Sean, is the CDC a private organization or is it a government organization?
You're talking about the Centers for Disease Control, right?
Yes, I am.
Yes.
Oh, no, I'm asking Sean that.
That's right. Center
Yeah, right.
Center for Disease Control.
Yeah,
And
that's
yes, that
federal.
was my next question. I have a little thought sitting there that I think that they're private, that I heard that or saw that somewhere, so I don't know.
I heard that too.
That would be news to me. As far as I know, they're federal. They're part of the federal government. They're part of the National Institute of Health or something like that.
Okay. Well, I'll have to include that in my little look-see, see what I
Okay,
find.
good. All right. How you doing there, Gene?
Okay, a good way to find out if they're a private corporation or part of the federal government is to get a response from them through the mail. If they have a, I don't know what they call it, there's a name for it, but if it comes back to you with a regular stamp, it's a private corporation, but if it comes back with a nonprofit or whatever, I can't remember the name, what they call it.
Franking privilege?
Franking privilege?
I think so.
Okay, yeah. Okay, Marty?
Well, it says here, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, is the leading national public health institute of the United States. It is a United States federal agency under the Department of Health and Human Services and is headquartered in Atlanta, Georgia. So it is a federal agency.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought too.
Thank
All
you
right.
for that. Where did you find that?
Just a Google search. Actually, though, it says Robert Kennedy Jr. CDC is a privately owned vaccine company, is what he says. But
Well, it's like the Federal Reserve. There's nothing federal about the Federal Reserve.
right.
There's nothing reserve about it. And so, I question their charter also.
Yeah.
So that's another can of worms we don't want to get into.
Right, and I don't know what CDC does with that, and I understand Robert Kennedy Jr.'s assertion because the CDC certainly seems to back vaccines and back profit motive activities, so they would look like they're a wholly owned subsidiary of some private company. But I don't know that that's the legal definition of it.
I think that they have patented vaccines, the CDC.
I actually tried to trace that down. I couldn't find that. But I'm going to check here. How you doing, Shelley?
Good.
Okay. Are you having fun yet?
Yep.
Okay, good. All right. Well, we've been doing this for almost an hour.
Really?
We can either go on to section 2. Actually, it's so close. I think I'm just going to call it. And next time we'll do section 2, if that's all right with everyone.
Oh, we
And-
didn't already, oh, we didn't already do section 2?
No,
No,
just
just one.
did section 1. We did Article 1, section 1.
Oh, okay.
Article 1, section 1 is all we did. This one right here. What's on the screen right now.
Hmm,
That was a fast hour.
That's what we
I-
did.
love to do Article 2.
Well, yeah, but we're
Oh,
5 minutes
oh,
to 5.
hmm.
So, well, Howard, that's, yeah, you
I'll
always
talk
have
less
to,
next
you have
time,
to
I
always,
promise. I
you
promise
always
I'll
have to-
talk less next time.
yeah, well, you always have to leave them wanting more. Right, Shelley?
Yep.
That's right. Okay, good. All right, Arnold, you
I
had
guess we
enough?
got some good mileage out of this one.
Yes, we did. I think we did too. Good for you. Is it good for you, Arnold?
Yeah, that was a quick hour. Thank you, John.
Yes, it was a quick hour. I agree. Article 1, Section 2, just as a preliminary, this is what we're going to do next time. Article 1, Section 2 describes the House of Representatives. Remember, in Article 1, it said the Congress is going to make other laws, and it's made up of a House of Representatives and a Senate. So now you're going to have to define what is the House of Representatives. And that's what Article 2 does. It defines what the House of Representatives are. And we have a whole bunch
Article
of
1, Section 2.
Article, isn't that what I said? Okay.
You said Article 2.
Article 2, Section 1, whatever it is.
Article 1, Section 2.
Article 1, Section 2. All right. Good. We'll do that next week, Article 1, Section 2. We may not even make it all the way through it because it has a lot of really interesting stuff in it, like that pesky 3/5 clause and a bunch of other stuff about taxes, direct taxes, and all kinds of stuff like that. Very interesting stuff. So,
could I ask one short question before we go?
Howard, I have never known you to ask a short question.
Okay. You had last on the screen that you had to be 18 years old to be a congressman or a congressperson or
Actually, it's
a congress.
25. Actually, it's 25 years.
Okay, thank you. That answers my question. See, that was short.
Yeah, no, the sentence that you were reading was an example of what it was a use of a term or phrase that we'll get to that next week.
Okay, it was a sentence. All right.
Yes, it was a part of a sentence. All right, guys, it's been a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
Bravo. Thank you, John.
And we'll see
Thank you,
you
John.
all again next week, I hope. Okay.
Thank you,
All
John.
right.
Thank you, Shelley. Good to see you again.
You
Okay.
Y'all have a good week. Okay.
Thank you.
bye.
Okay. Anita, thank you. Okay. Bye-bye, Marty. Bye-bye, Arnold.
Bye.
Okay.
Oh.
Bye, Sean.
Bye, John.
Okay.
Bye, John.
Bye-bye, Arnold.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye, Shelley.